Hi guys, this is your host Nakasha, mental health consultant. This channel is all about mental health, and in each video I give you guys tips on how you can be intentional in improving your mental health and well-being in order to achieve the vision you have for your life. In today's video, I'm giving you guys my top tips for dealing with COVID lockdown fatigue. If you're feeling stuck in this lockdown rut, this video is for you. So if you've been in lockdown for a few months, you may be dealing with COVID fatigue, constantly hearing about it in the news, going to the store, you see the arrows to walk you through the aisles, you have to wear a mask everywhere you go, and everything you hear is all about COVID. And literally every day you wake up kind of feeling like, I don't know what to do with myself today, feeling bored, feeling disconnected from everyone. And if that's how you're feeling, inevitably COVID fatigue is likely starting to set in. So to think about how to get unstuck, it can be helpful to think about some of the things that helped before the pandemic happened. So what are some things that you did that gave life some sort of movement and purpose? Likely one of those things would have been having a routine. Now, it's nice to be able to go to bed whenever we want because we don't have an early morning, sleep in as long as we want. Well, trust me, I completely understand the appeal of that, and it can be hard to not take advantage of that when we have the opportunity for it. But not being in a schedule, having a routine is likely what's contributing to this feeling you're having. It's interesting that the less you do in terms of physically, the less you learn, the more tired you feel at the end of every day. In fact, you can wake up feeling tired, okay, and just be tired for the entire day. Meanwhile, you feel like, I didn't actually accomplish anything. So my number one tip for dealing with this COVID fatigue, lockdown fatigue, is establish a routine and put yourself on a schedule. Now, your schedule is yours to make whatever you want of it. You get to design your life. So in deciding what to do with your schedule, it's really important to have things that are meaningful and to have variety. So think about and ask yourself, what are 3 things I want to change about my life? Are there areas in your life that you're unhappy with? Think about your health. Okay, now health is comprised of mental, physical, and spiritual health. So let's start with your mental health. Where is that right now? If you're feeling COVID fatigue, likely your mental health is not as strong as you'd like it to be. So what sort of things can you do to improve upon your mental health? Think about your physical health. Were you perhaps, wanting to work on your nutrition, getting some more exercise, whether it's for weight loss or just health reasons? Were there things, if you practice a particular faith, believe in a higher power, is this an area of your life that has weakened and that you want to work on? Think about your relationships, your, romantic relationships. So, being a more attentive spouse, for instance, or working on, your dating relationships or building a dating life. If you want to work on your friendships, perhaps, you and your friends kind of fell out of touch, or you don't feel like you have very strong social relationships. So maybe you want to work on your relationships, but a lot of people in your life are still social distancing to the point where they want to stay at home. That's okay. You can then use video chat, right? You can use video communication. You can use phone calls. Those are great ways to stay connected with each other. You can do text messaging, which many enjoy because it's convenient. However, there's a limit to how much you can connect over text media, whether it's texting on your phone or social media outlets. A lot of people spend a lot of time in text communication and continue to feel disconnected. So that is something to consider. If you're looking to connect with others socially, really be selective in sort of platform to use that will really give you that sense of connection you're looking for. If your goal is to, focus on your parenting style, perhaps before you had children, there were so many things you planned to do with them. You thought about how your parents were, and there were things that you felt like, I had such great parents. I want to, do these activities that they did with me, or my parents didn't give me the time that I wanted. There were so many things I'd missed out on. I'm going to do it differently. This is your opportunity to do that with the kids. Yes, it's hard having the children around all the time in lockdown. That's very understandable. Many are feeling that for sure. But the fact of the matter is, you are at home with the kids. Now is actually a really great opportunity to build meaningful moments and memories with the kids. So you can work on your parenting, work on that time bonding with the kids, and all of that. And it's time with your spouse or your romantic partner as well, right? So if the relationship was not super strong, or the feelings were still very strong, but you just didn't really have as much time for each other, now is the time to really enjoy that time with each other. Have date nights. And again, there's lots of free things you can do with each other just to build on that connection. Regardless of who you choose for that social connection, the relationships that you put your time into, that you really take the time to nurture, they will grow. You get out of it what you put in. So now it can be an opportunity to invest in your relationships. Think about the relationship with yourself, okay? Because before we can have a healthy relationship with anyone else, that starts with a healthy relationship with ourselves. This is a great opportunity for self-care. Do things that you really enjoy for you. Time that you spend with yourself is extremely valuable. That's where you build your emotional reserves, be able to take on life and be able to really pour into your other relationships. So take the time for you, do anything that relaxes you, helps you feel good. Let's think about education, and that's not always formal education. Do you have a sense of unhappiness or discontent about your level of education? Now that could be that, maybe it is formal and you want to take a course or a program, but you didn't have time prior to the pandemic. Is there particular courses, programs that you can take now that can really help you build on your education? Now let's look at informal education. We're in the age of information where you can find a wealth of information online. You can learn a ton of things on YouTube, for instance, through Google searches. You can download ebooks. Libraries now, they have tons of electronic books. You can, go on Amazon and pick up books. You can, learn through documentaries. There are so many ways of learning new things that speaks to informal education. Now let's look at career, because that ties very much into education. If you're looking to either grow in your career or, begin a new career, a lot of that is going to be developing existing skills or learning new ones. So what are some skills that I can learn or improve on that will help me, build my career or branch into a new one? Personal growth and development. Are there parts of your character that you've been wanting to work on? Perhaps, you tend to be a bit more on the shy side and you've always wanted to really build on your social skills. Perhaps you feel like my life would be in a much better place. I'd feel more accomplished if I had more discipline in order to pursue the things that are important to me. Or even thinking about financial. Do you feel content in your financial situation? If you've lost your job and you're job searching but still having a hard time, continue job searching, but also look at different ways of earning an income. There are so many methods of earning an income out there without necessarily entering the workforce. Like some of those can be things that you're naturally good at home that you can create, whether it's, arts and crafts or cooking, baking, and selling the things that you naturally are very skilled in being able to make. It could be helping your neighbors, people in your community, whether it's with picking up groceries, mowing lawns, whatever it is. Or even looking at investments, really looking at investing some of the money you have. It doesn't have to be a large amount. It can be a small amount. And if you don't know how to invest, also just taking the time to really think about how to begin. You don't even have to invest right now. This could be an opportunity to really just learn new things. Take that first initial step. of gaining information. There are many different ways of earning income right now that don't necessarily exist within the workforce, our traditional workforce. Once you've determined the 3 areas of your life that you feel like you really want to develop, that you feel discontented in, that is an opportunity to then decide, what are 3 steps I can take towards this now? And it's very important to think of what I can do towards it now. Because if we start to think about things that will be, realistic once things reopen, if we think about things we could have done before the pandemic, we're going to continue to feel stuck. So it's really important to focus on things that you can actually do right now. So let's say you want to focus on, getting involved in a martial arts program, but all of the martial arts studios are closed. There is no purpose in setting that as a goal right now, because you're just going to anxiously await the reopening. So let's look at things you can do free. So maybe you can learn about martial arts right now on YouTube. Maybe you can take some different types of exercise classes on YouTube that are, again, free. Maybe you can work out from home or at the park, rather than focusing towards, I'll be able to get fit once the gyms reopen. So let's look at even education or developing new skills. You want to focus again on things that are free. So there's actually a lot of schools, even Ivy League schools, that have free courses and programs. Now, all it is a matter of Google searching, okay? If you have internet access and a device that connects to the internet, that is an opportunity to do some Google searching and see what free programs and courses exist. Now guys, we don't have control over when the pandemic is over, when the lockdown is over. But what we do have control over is, being able to come out better than we went in, okay? We do have the ability to change our lives for the better. We are not passive bodies just going through this thing called life. The ability of choice is one of the greatest spiritual blessings. It's important to use it. Now, there are different activities that really speak to reducing or eliminating anxiety and depression. One such area includes laughter. Okay, laughter is extremely therapeutic. Now, I can talk all day about the physical and psychological benefits of laughter, but let's save that for another video. So consider putting on a really funny video from maybe your favorite YouTuber or your favorite show on cable or Netflix, and just give yourself, even if it's 15 minutes, that you set aside and you prioritize laughter. Another one is creativity. Now, you may feel like, you're not a very creative person or you don't have a lot of imagination, but creativity is one of those things that, if you even just get started, more ideas will come to you. So it can be art, whether sketching, painting, things like that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be art in many forms. So it could be redecorating your house, exploring your creative juices and redecorating your wardrobe, okay? It could be even in your appearance. When you look good, you feel good. You don't have to actually have plans to go anywhere. You can just take the time exploring different ideas with your hair, if you're female, with your makeup, different clothing choices, whatever it is, however it is you want to do it. You can just do that at home. And just even the process of doing that task can really help with stress reduction, because you're focusing on what you're doing in the present and you're using your senses. You can even take pictures afterwards if you'd like, but just taking that time to make art again out of your environment or out of yourself, however you feel like doing it. It could be creativity in terms of building things. Maybe you want to take on a project in the backyard, in the garden, in your garage, with your car, your bike, however, whatever it is. You could be exploring your creativity with even your business, thinking about different ways of expanding the services you provide, promoting your products to reach more people, more consumers. Creativity in terms of different ways of building or making, money out of what you do. So setting some time, whether it's 30 minutes, even an hour, however long you want to set it, and set it for a specific time to really just be creative in whatever that looks like for you. This is your life and you get to decide how you'd like. the outdoors, being in nature. Set some time for being outside in nature, whether it's walking, okay, whether it's just sitting on your patio, just getting in some vitamin D. If you like hiking, that's excellent. If you're someone who doesn't like hiking, that's okay. You don't have to actually go into the woods, but just take some time outside to, just take in some of the vitamin D, get a breath of fresh air. Again, it doesn't have to be a long period of time. You can walk to the mailbox and back. However it is you'd like to do it, but just taking some time to be even outside can be very helpful to our sense of well-being. Now, a huge tip I want to give you guys is mindfulness. Taking the time to really be present. Now, in life, we tend to be on autopilot throughout the day. But anxiety comes from thinking about the past, where we're, considering mistakes of the past, things we would have liked to do differently, thinking about the future, and being fearful of the unknown. So a great stress reduction tip is to be present in the moment. Mindfulness is all about the here and now, and a great way to focus on the here and now is to use our senses. So as you go through the day, experience each thing as it is. So whether it's mindful eating, mindful walking, having a hot bath, using your senses in the bath. Essential oils can really aid with mindfulness. Meditation and deep breathing techniques. There are so many ways of incorporating mindfulness into your life. And if you're not sure what mindfulness is, not to worry, I'm going to be making lots of mindfulness videos. If you're interested in learning about it, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and turn your notifications on. That way you're aware when I release these mindfulness-based videos amongst a wealth of other types of videos on mental health and well-being. Okay guys, so that concludes our video on how to get unstuck, how to overcome the anxiety and depression of being in lockdown. Okay guys, it was such a pleasure spending the time with you. I will look forward to seeing you at the next video.